It is 12 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for taking time out. This is James Rankin with American National of Texas. And guys, I got to tell you, I am enthused about the response we've been getting from the field. It's been fantastic. A lot of guys are excited. They've been waiting for this product. And so what I want to do today is kind of change the gears a little bit. I know we've done some webinars really going in detail about the product, and we'll do that. But today I want to talk more mechanics. I want to talk about marketing, how we can help you drop tickets. And then also I've got Paul Harrington with us today, and he's going to talk about submitting business. I think that's important. I'm also going to announce our bonus program that is going to be for our agents that are with us direct, because remember, American National of Texas does do direct business. However, we also encourage many of our independent brokers to go through some of our top IMOs, especially when you're doing a variety of products. So we want to encourage you to do that. All right, let's get underway. I do appreciate you joining us, and like I always say, you'll pick up at least one idea that I believe can help increase your production, and that's what we're all about. So let's get started. First of all, I started in the life insurance business back in 1982, sold life insurance my junior year in college, made more money than I'd ever made in my life, and I knew at that time this was the business I wanted to be in. When all my buddies were interviewing with the Xerox, the IBMs of the world, Johnson Foods, huge tool, accounting firms, I didn't do any job interviews because I knew I was going to be an agent. And very quickly, I know you guys, some of you have heard this before, but my dad said, hey, you know what, selling insurance was all right as a summer gig for you to make a little extra money, but you graduate from college, go get a real job. He thought commission work was for uneducated people. And I said, Dad, I think I can do this job. I made more money than I've ever made. I think I want to continue. And thank goodness I did, because once again, I love it. And that's why I get to live vicariously through you guys, because I do miss selling. But I get to sell every day with you. And a lot of times you call me in to help close business. I love to do that. I do webinars. I do seminars. We travel. It's a wonderful profession. But I'm going to give you a quote that means so much to me, and it really changed my career. So many times we get so caught up in product. It's product this and product that. I've been on hundreds of presentations with brokers. That's the first thing out of their mouth is product, product. You got to get to the concept. So on the screen here, you can see probably one of the greatest quotes pertaining to life insurance. I don't know if Tom Wolfe invented that, but Tom Wolfe taught me this, and I never forgot it. And if you can remember this, it would have been worth the time you spent with me today. And that is, life insurance is the greatest concept invented by the mind of man to overcome financial challenges. Think about that. What does that mean to you specifically? And do you effectively communicate that to your clients? If you do, your life sales are going to go out the window in a big way. So many times I say that in different parts of the country, that means it's bad, it's out the window. But in Texas, it means it's out the window, meaning it's exploding. It cannot be retained in a house or a room. So think about that for a second. It really is, because if you analyze this, guys, and then we'll cut to the chase, for the average man to protect his family, he would have to take his entire paycheck, put it into a bank in a short-term savings, and it still wouldn't be enough, would it? But with the advent of life insurance, he can take just a small percentage of his gross income, put it into a life insurance that will create an instant estate. It would take him 20, 30, 40 years to accumulate what he could have in life insurance for the protection of his family. Guys, I love life insurance. It is a great profession, and we at Moody Group are wanting to attract top quality agents. So if you're that type of person, man, I want to work with you. And we don't just give you a product, man. We're going to support you. I'll show you how we do that. But write that quote down, memorize it, make it part of who you are. Now, I like to talk about the innovation of life insurance, because if you were to analyze it, you could say it started off with whole life insurance, and that's really all they sold back in the day, early 1900s. the old whole life plan, which, guys, even today it makes sense. I think that every one of these evolutions and innovations in life insurance has a place. In fact, here's another great idea for you. We helped a broker close a $25,000 life premium just last week. Now, follow me on this one because this is pretty profound. There was another company that beat his premium by $1,500. He was depressed because he needed this case. And I told him, I said, you know what, let's analyze this. And what we created for him was a life insurance allocation model. He closed it. We saved the client $4,000 a year. And what we did was simply build a portfolio of products, not just one product. We had some into an ART, some into a 15, some into a 20, and some into a cash value. And we got the business. But that's the kind of forward thinking sometimes is necessary to close business. So I was very happy about that. Let's walk through the innovation of life insurance. First, you had the whole life insurance, which was a forced savings plan. Made sense. You pay a little bit more for your life insurance, but you got some cash value, and that served as an emergency fund. Then companies went full blast on term insurance, which is buy term, invest the difference. What was the problem with that? Guys, the problem with that is people bought term, they didn't invest the difference. Or if they did invest the difference, they lost their money in the markets per se. Then companies came up with an innovation. I'm going to put this in here too, and that is why not have a level term? So you saw the 10, 15, 20, even 30-year level terms, and those took off. People like that because you had the same value as a whole life, meaning a level premium over a period of time. But remember, you buy term insurance because you have a specific liability over a period of time. And once that's gone, the insurance will go away. That's the logic behind it. Then came universal life. Why did universal life come onto the marketplace? I'll tell you why. Because whole life insurance interest rates back in the 70s really was 2-3%. Now you're seeing them 3-4%. Whereas the prime rate was over 10. You know, I remember we used to sell annuities that had a 12% return on a fixed annuity. So universal life was invented, number one, to capture those interest rates. And then the market took off. And then what did they come up with? Variable life, where now you have sub-accounts that are equities. So people saw their cash values rise and they saw them fall with variable life. Then back in 1994, you came up with index universal life. It started really with index annuities, and then it went to index universal life. But what happened there, and that is you could link your cash value to a passive approach, which basically meant no risk to your principal. So the cash value was linked to the growth of the markets. Guys, that could be a win or a lose. It depends on the market. It depends on the temperament. Guys, I got to tell you, I think one of the best hybrids is the latest evolution and innovation of life insurance, and it's the LGO product. And what I'm talking about is Living Guaranteed Option UL. Who's the perfect candidate? Well, I always like to quote Will Rogers. You remember this? This is worth noting. Will Rogers said, this was back in the 50s. He said, I'm not so much concerned with the return on my money. I want the return of my money. And that is a perfect way to introduce the Living Guaranteed UL. The return on the money versus return of the money. And in some cases, I'll be frank with you, there are some people, older people, that they've got equities, they've got investments. They don't want their insurance linked to an index. They don't want to have to learn that. They don't want it linked to the market. They just want to be covered, and they want their money back if they don't die. And guys, I love that, and I'll share some closes with you as we go on. But the reason I love it so much is you can look at your client after quoting them a premium with as much sincerity as you can muster and say, this product doesn't cost you anything. It really doesn't. If you really know how to sell return of premium, and we've done a lot of business with return of premium products, that is the true statement. Because what you're doing is you're exchanging dollars today for more dollars tomorrow. In fact, it's pennies on a dollar when you look at the death benefits, you look at the living benefits. But if you're looking at just your premium, you will get every penny back that you put into this plan. Either 65% of your death benefit or the return of all your money. So guys, it is a different sell. Let's continue on. The other thing I want to talk about is the company. You know, I always like to talk first concept, then people, then product. And this is the people part. American National of Texas, what a rich heritage, rich history. We are a subsidiary of American National Life Insurance Company, rated A excellent by AM Best and Standards & Poor's. Guys, think about this. The assets of American National, $23 billion. In fact, we're getting close to $24 billion. $24 billion in assets. We have one of the best capital surpluses in the industry at over 10%. So that means after we pay all of our debts, after we pay all of the obligations of our policy owners, we have $2.3 billion liquid cash. Guys, that tells you the financial strength of the company. It is a great story to tell. Here's another story. 23% of our stock is owned by the Moody Foundation. The rest of it, up to 51%, is owned by the family and by trust, which means you're not going to have to worry about getting a notice saying your insurance company was bought by a Chinese company or another company. We are going to be domiciled in Texas for life. That was a purpose, and that's why they set the foundation up. It was founded in 1905 by W.L. Moody Jr. And by the way, I work for Robert Moody Jr., who is the great-grandson of W.L. Moody. So, guys, it's a great story. And once again, once you understand it, once you bring all that together, I believe you have an irresistible story to tell your clients, because they like that. They like to know that there is a foundation that owns 23% of the stock, and they give away $50 million a year to not-for-profit organizations. Guys, Google this if you like to. The Moody Foundation donated $50 million to the University of Texas. We actually have a communication building named after the Moody's. If you look at SMU, Southern Methodist University, the stadium is named after the Moody organization. So, guys, you're in good company. We also invest millions in cancer research in hospitals, schools. We just started one here in Galveston for young kid development programs. So, you know, it really is a wonderful organization. So, you know, give that some thought as you're deciding to market with us. The next thing I want to talk about is everybody on this call is a direct agent. Now, once again, I'm going to be the first to tell you I've got some of the best IMOs in the industry. If you happen to work for one of those IMOs, take the Intex contract with your IMO. But if you're not, if you don't have an IMO and you want to be direct, there is nothing wrong with coming directly to the company. And we do have a direct agent program. Basically, what you get with that is you get product support. And when I say product support, we're going to train you on the product. We're going to educate you on how that works, and Paul's going to go into more detail later on about that. We do case management. That's key, because if you're issuing a policy of life insurance, you want to make sure all the requirements are taken care of. We have great relationships with our underwriters, and we help you get your cases issued. I conduct coaching calls. Paul helps on the coaching calls with social media. But, guys, we can walk you through. I have a lot of people that we've helped get over the hump, get to that next level of productivity and profitability. We have a number of people who have passed the six-figure mark really for the first time in their life insurance career, and we want to help you do the same. Our best agent, and I don't mind bragging about him, I won't use his name, our best agent did $556,000 in compensation. Guys, that is what it's about. And there's nothing more satisfying than to see our guys making that kind of money, and you can too. It's a matter of making a choice to say, it's time to get serious about the life insurance business. I'm ready to start making the big dollars because, guys, I'm telling you, you're the highest paid people in the United States, and that's qualified, knowledgeable, articulate sales professionals. So we help you with coaching calls. We also, many of you are well aware of our income engineering. It's a book I wrote. Paul is very versed on that as well. And we basically take you through the 7 steps for financial independence. This is also financial education for your clients. We do study groups. We've got 2 study groups, right? We do the income engineering, where you learn, and more specifically, how to turn ideas into profit centers for you. And then we also have the Rainmakers. And here's where we teach you about association marketing. And we've got guys that are doing extremely well in that market now. And then also Strategy Whole Life, guys. You've got tremendous high compensation on our final expense product. And then, of course, get on our website, look at the Moody Resource Center. We have there basically videos. We have training. I think it's cutting edge. It really is. So we want you to check that out as well. The next thing is, I'm very proud to introduce, in fact, this will be one of the first groups that learn about our bonus program, and I call it the doubling effect, because if you write 50,000, and most of you guys will be on a very high 90% comp. You got 90%, you do 50,000, we're going to pay you an additional 5%. And we need you to sign off. So if you're interested in participating in that, you let me know. Just email me. I'll give you the email at the end. But we'll put you on that. So a 5% bonus on 50,000. You double your production to 100, we'll double the bonus to 10%. That's $10,000 extra over and beyond your money. So once again, if you want to be a 6-figure guy, we're going to show you how to do that. And it's marketing this product. I'm telling you, it'll be one of the easiest sales you ever make, and plus you've got a payday. So I think that's going to be a wonderful opportunity. We also have another program I didn't mention called $10,000 in commissions in 6 weeks. And if you want to be part of that study group, you let me know. We're going to get that implemented in July 1st. We will implement that new program. We'll have a new series of people coming on. And if you want to be part of that, that'll be very special. So once again, bonus over and beyond your high commissions. The next thing we're going to talk about is appointment fees. We got people right now on the call from all over the country. So guys, we do unfortunately require that you pay your appointment fee, but we're going to work something out where you do your first case. We're going to get approval for this. And if I have to pull it out of my own pocket, I'll do that because I want to work with you. I want to see you successful. But here are the appointment fees for your state. If you're in Arkansas, you have no appointment fees, which is nice. And if you're in Florida, which I do see a few people who are in Florida, you know, you do have a little bit of a hurdle there at $60, but come on, you'll make that on your first case, and we'll also look at reimbursing you down the line. All right, so that's that. Let's move on from there. And I want to talk about submitting business. We want your cases to go through without a problem, and I've got an expert to help you with that. It's our internal wholesaler, Paul Harrington.
Thank you, James. So, yeah, reason we're going for submitting business is oftentimes when a lot of agents get really frustrated because you run into missed forms or somebody can't read your signature, what have you. So we have done what we can and everything to make that whole process easier for you. So we will have the e-app. It is not live as of right this second. I did talk to the techies a few days ago. They're in the final stages of beta testing it. We're making sure that there's no loopholes, so we would rather it be perfect the first time than deal with issues later. But we do have paper applications, and we have a process to make that easier for you. So when you're working with paper applications, what you'll need to do is go to our website, and James undersold a little bit, but it is my baby. I'm very proud of it, the Moody Resource Center. Moody Resource Center I built for you guys. So if you ever have suggestions on it, let me know. But what the Moody Resource Center is a consolidation of all the information from the carrier's website. So when you go to it, what you're able to do is access the forms, access the quote, see the training video. This video itself actually will end up on the page. You can go to state approval charts, all that. It's in a one-stop shop. It's on both sides. So paper applications. Now, when you complete a paper app, what we suggest, and it doesn't require, but highly, highly suggest that you send it to us. Send it in. Marta Warren is she does all of our pending new business. She will go through your application and make sure that everything is done correctly, you have the right forms, you've checked the correct boxes, all that sort of information. We will help you with that. With electronic applications, very simple. You fill it out. You can do remote sign, and what's nice about remote sign, which is the email signature process, as long as you're appointed in said state, you can sell in that state. So if you're in Florida and you have an appointment in California, you can sell this using the remote signatures. So that is a little tidbit on how to submit business with American National of Texas. And also this same process applies to the Strategy Whole Life Final Expense product that James mentioned, as well as the Signature Term, which is another amazing Antex product. Back to James.
Thank you so much, Paul. And once again, he's doing a super job. We're just so happy he's on board and he's here to help you. So everybody here has really 4 qualified people on your team. And one of the things I always say is if you're in sales, you got to have a sales strategy. You got to have a product that you master, which you will do with this product. Secondly, you want to have a market you work in. We can help you identify those markets. And thirdly, you got to have a support system, and that's what we can do for you. You got Paul, myself, Marta, and Karen, and we want to see you successful. So congratulations on expanding your team and getting a support group behind you. All right. Now, as we get back to the presentation, and Paul, you talked about the paper apps, electronic apps, and I probably should have been working the slides for you. I apologize by now. Okay, let's talk about the product specifically. What we're talking about here is the living guaranteed option, and I like it because it actually is the initials life goes on. Because, guys, that's the whole reason we have life insurance, is that life does go on. And life insurance is purchased out of love, and I think we miss that so many times. It really is. But we had a great close that I used to use years ago. It just worked like magic, and that is when the guy was telling me, "Oh, listen, I got to go talk to my wife about it." Okay, guys, how do you respond to that? Yeah, no problem. Here's my brochure. Here's my card. I'll call you back in a couple. No. Guys, this is worth the time we spent together. Watch this. This is gold. And I remember as an agent, I used to invent ways to close because I loved it. I love that tension. And you know what I'm talking about, especially you top-notch guys. There's that little bit of tension at the end. You did your presentation. You got their buy-in. You know they're ready to buy. And they somehow pull back, man. It was that moment. You felt it. You had them. And they're moving away. And they give you that line. It's just a procrastination. I need to talk to my wife. And I said, hey, that's a great idea. I want you to talk to your wife because you're partners, aren't you? Let me ask you a question. You ever bought flowers for your wife? And every man worth the salt is going to say yes. Okay, let me ask you this. Don't mean to be facetious, but I want to ask you this question. Did you call her before you bought the flowers and said, honey, I'm thinking about buying you some flowers. It's going to cost about $59. Is that okay? You okay with that? No. You didn't do that. Why? Because you wanted to buy them for her because you love her. And the same applies with the life insurance. You're buying this because you love her. The first thing she's going to tell you, we can't afford it. Let's don't spend it. You're going to live forever. I don't want to think about it. No. You're taking care of somebody because you love them. And you know we're not always going to be there for them. But the greatest sign of love is that you bought a life insurance. You replace your economic value to this one person who you would give your life for. And no greater love is there than to lay your life down. That's actually biblical, guys. I'm telling you, it's irresistible. And it works. And you know it does When you use this line and you close it, you better email me and say, James, thank you. It was magic. Because it is. I'm telling you. I've done it too many times to not see it work. We're not being manipulative. This is true. All right, so one of the things that, let's get to the mechanics of it. We're going to issue this from 18 to 80. If they are a smoker, we're going to cut them off at 75. This is not a unisex product. It is male and female. Minimum is only $25,000. I've got guys using this for final expense, potentially. Guys, think about this. Okay, now here's an idea. Now, guys, please follow me on this one. Let's say you decide to buy this on your parents, all right? And number one, you buy the policy, and if something else happens, meaning they have some other coverage or somebody else pays or something works out, you get your money back, or you get the proceeds as a beneficiary. So either way, you were covered. And that's why I always tell people, if you know you're going to have to pay for a funeral, which I've had to pay for 2 funerals in my family. I'm not proud of that. It breaks my heart, frankly. But it's expensive. So why not be proactive and say, listen, I'm going to buy you a plan. I'm going to take care of this. And you're an agent too, so it's not going to cost you anything for the first year anyway. But $25,000, of course, you can pay any way you like, annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly. We do bank drafts as well on here. Guys, the bottom line is we have the child level term rider. We have all the accelerated benefits on here and the whole bit. So I just think it's a very unique product. But let me get to the point. This is actually, I had the privilege of writing this. And what I wanted to do is give you a presentation that really works. It's something you can put in your jacket. You pull that out. You can share it with somebody you're talking to. And it's LGO, life. As I mentioned, we buy life insurance as an expression of love. I also love this presentation, that savings to debt over a lifetime. Right now, if you're talking to a young couple, their debt is high, right? Maybe they just bought a house. Maybe they got student loans, credit cards. They just bought the car. So their debt is very high. Their savings is very low because they're just getting started. There does come a crossroads down the line, and that's why I love this plan, because in that 20-year time frame, number one, the debt went down, the savings went up. Now here's all your premium back. So all we're doing is leasing money is what you're doing. So, hey, the most inexpensive way to lease money is life insurance, if you think about it. So here you go. So you had that. So once again, life insurance. And, the other thing I always tell people is learn how to calculate their life insurance needs. We've sold more insurance with brokers, helping them have a free service. Guys, this is worth the time together. Is give them a free service. Hey, I want to provide you a scientific way to find out exactly how much life insurance you need. And I used to always ask people, has anybody ever done this before? No, very rarely. I think 1 out of 1,000 would say, yes, my agent did this. And I can teach you how to do this. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I designed an Excel calculator that you could use. I'll be more than happy to provide that for you free of charge, as long as you get contracted. But I love it because you're able to sit down with people and go through it. Let's find out how much insurance you need. And so you give them a free service. Guarantees. Guys, there are not a lot of guarantees in life, and that's what I indicated here, but there is some guarantees here. How about guaranteed no lapse? How about guaranteed return of premium? And how about guaranteed death benefit to 121? What this is, remember I talked about a hybrid. This really is a term alternative. It really is, because if they're buying term insurance, because they really are not interested in cash value buildup. They don't want to hassle with that. They don't want to worry. They don't think the market's going to do any good. And they don't want to be confused with participation rates, cap rates, different indices. They don't want that. They want to know that they're going to get their money back if they don't use it. So that's a guarantee as well. And I love the fact that we go to 121. It's like a term that goes, it's a term to 121 is what you could call it, because your premium will never go up and it's guaranteed to pay to 121. Now, you can change that if you want to, and I'll talk about the options here in just a little bit. But let me finish the guarantee. The guarantee is that if you have a critical illness, there is a likelihood you can actually tap in on your death benefit. If you have terminal illness resulting in death in 24 months, you can accelerate 90% of your death benefit. And if you have a chronic condition, the inability to perform 2 of the 6 ADLs, we will allow you to take up to 76% of your death benefit. Guys, there has never been a better time to sell life insurance than right now. Why? Because of all the innovation. So they're not only getting all these benefits, but you can tell them you're going to get your money back if you don't use them. That's going to resonate. So I think that's cool. Now, as far as options go, I actually did the calculation. There are literally over 14 different options in this program, starting with, hey, how long do you want your death benefit? Do you want it 95, 100, 105? Do you want to have it to 121? Guys, if you're taking notes, write this down because this is unique. And I call it mass customization, meaning we have this product and we're approved with this product in about 47 states right now. Just kicked it off. And guys, I got to tell you, that was a miracle in itself. Can you imagine the first month having all the states we're in approved for this product? That's a lot of hard work. It was done. So we're excited about that. We've got the brochures approved. I've even written a press release for you guys. So if you want to send it to your paper, what a great opportunity, because we're introducing a new product that is newsworthy. Now, that's the first set of options. The next set of options is, when do you want your money back? Because we will allow you to get money back, partial refund in 15 years. You can wait to 20 years, or you can wait till 25 years for either 100% or 65% of your death benefit. And I'll talk about that in just a little bit. There are more options on that. Now, the other option obviously pertains to living benefits. Do you want to accelerate it if you have terminal illness? And if so, full acceleration or partial acceleration? Not a lot of companies do that. But there are some people, let's say you have a $500,000 policy, you get diagnosed with cancer. You may say, hey, we'll advance you 90%. They may say, wait a minute, I don't really want to advance all of it because I want to make sure my wife has money. So instead of getting a check for $450,000, how about I get a check for $200,000? And we use the rest of the $250 in the program, and you can do that as well. And then what we'll do for you, you ready for this? We'll adjust your life insurance premium to reflect the $250, not the $500. So that's something else a lot of people are just not aware of. Our company's not doing, and we do educate you on that. So that's another option as well. And then, of course, with chronic, every one of those you can take a partial or a full acceleration. So that's a lot of options. So once again, you are customizing it, but you're doing it on a mass scale. Lastly, and this is part of income engineering, leaving a lasting legacy. I think this is important too, and for some people, you got a lot of charities that you're involved in. If you pass away, that charity is going to take a financial hit. Why not buy life insurance? And here you have a chance to take care of them, and then you also have a chance of getting that money back or donating the premiums to the charity if you'd like to. So once again, guys, take a look at that. Let me know what your thoughts are. I think it's pretty powerful, very convincing. Key features, as I mentioned before: repetition is the mother of learning, guaranteed no lapse, guaranteed return of premium, and guaranteed death benefit. So we do have this recorded if you want to watch it. Or if you need, let me tell you this, I do this with brokers all the time. If you would like to have something customized to you, we're more than happy to help you. We can customize our sales material. We can actually, I have one broker, we've actually videotaped him doing his presentation, which he uses on his website. So we're more than happy to help you in that sense as well. Living benefits, we talked about this, but it's worth noting there is no cost to have living benefits in your policy. So this is a value added. And here's another great sales idea. If I'm competing with another insurance company and they've had the policy more than 5 years, chances are they don't have living benefits. So you need to learn how to describe them in such a way as to move them to want to change. And sometimes we can actually beat their old premium as well as give them. So the question I'm going to ask you is this: if I could show you a way to increase your face amount and lower your premium and add new benefits, would that be of interest to you? That's the kind of questions we need to be asking people every single day of our career. So that's all part of it too. Let's take a look at a quick proposal here. We've got a 35-year-old female. She needs $250,001. Why $1? Because now we can offer her preferred rates. Before that, guys, we do what is called express underwriting, which I love. We do an MIB, we do a prescription drug check. We try to get these policies out very quickly. There's no reason that you cannot send us an app and get your commission within 10 days and the policy. So in this case, $87.92. In 15 years, we're going to cut a check for her for $10,287. It's right there in black and white. I'm telling you, clients love this because what they're looking at is $87.92. They're not looking at the cumulative amount of $10,287 they get back. Or how about $21,101 or $26,000? So as you're protecting your family, your money is waiting for you. And, you know, guys, here's another great sales idea. You know, you got a baby who just got born. Why not insure your life to protect them, or a grandchild? And then when they're ready to go to college, hey, got a little surprise for you. Got your first year paid for, and you cash in your policy. There it is. All right, as we continue on, one of the things I mentioned before is we do a lot of coaching, and I've been very fortunate, number one, to have great mentors in my life. Also, you know, once again, got educated, which I'm happy. I've learned a lot about marketing. I've studied marketing, and most of you have as well. But one of the things I want to help you do is create a marketing plan. Because when you have a marketing plan, guys, I'm telling you, you're running your practice like a corporation. And it's not a matter of chance that you write 100,000. It's pre-planned, it's predetermined, and it's inevitable. And that's how you have to operate. It's inevitable that you're going to be successful. Now, in this case, what I like to do is simply break this up, and I'm going to share with you, first of all, the product. Really getting to know the product. So one of the things I will do for the guys on the call here is let's set up a coaching call. Let's break it down. We'll go through the presentation with you. I've actually written, I think it's a dynamic sales script that you can learn, and we can work with you on that. But it's understanding the product, because the product is the box that your client solution comes in. That's the best way to look at products. It's a box that contains the solution. The next part is the price. Now, we are very competitive. In fact, we've done competitive analysis with a number of companies. I'm more than happy to provide that for you. In fact, I'm designing a Prizzy just on competitive analysis, where we just break down some of the leading companies that we compete with. United of Omaha, North American, American General, Allianz, some of these other companies that we feel very confident that we can help you. Now, the other thing is, guys, there's not a lot of Antex contracts out there. You're on the ground floor, so you know you're not going to bump up against somebody. There is nothing worse than competing with a broker that has your same product portfolio. So it's a matter of, do you want to do Antex with me or with them? You know, and then it gets into a personality situation. Here, you're not going to have a lot of competition, which, I mean, our weakness is actually your strength. I hate to say it that way, but that's the truth. So once again, the price, very competitive. Placement, I'm talking about distribution. We can share with you how to create a distribution channel that helps you identify groups. Guys, we're working with associations. We're working with companies. We're talking about lead generation. So, guys, we have all of that for you. We can talk about it in more detail. So, once again, placement, where you're going to sell your product. And lastly is promotion. And this is the most interesting. How do we promote it? Well, first of all, like I said, I've got a press release and it's going through compliance. Now I should have it here shortly. But that's the first thing to do, is get that going. Next is look at how you can integrate the program. Let me give you a little page from my playbook. When we kicked off this product, about actually the first of the month. Every one of our staff put it on their email, and I'll give this to you, and that is the LGO. So put that on your email. When you send out emails, people see that. It's a great reminder. Change your voicemail message. If you call me at 800-252-4002, you're going to hear my voice message that says, don't forget to ask me about our Living Guaranteed Option UL. It's a product that guarantees no lapse, guarantees return of premium, and guarantees death benefit to 121. They hear that, you're going to get some attention, right? Email blast. Guys, you have a client base. Let's blast them. I've got a great piece that you can send to them that says, hey, check out this new product that I have. And then we've got a whole array of other ideas, radio spots that you could do. So it's all left over to your imagination. So that's promotion. Hope that's helpful. And guys, I want to thank y'all for staying on the call too. I see that nobody dropped off. That means a lot to me when we're putting this on. All right, guys, we care about you. We want to see you win. So let me give you hopefully we have a contact page, and here it is right here, guys. You want to contact me, feel free, 800-252-4002. My extension is 118. But your best bet is to get in touch with me, James R. at moodygroup.com. Or if you want to talk to Paul Harrington, super guy, does a great job with us. He's really a social media. I'm not going to call him a guru. Why not call him a guru? Let's call him a guru. He'll give you some great ideas of how to use social media to promote this product. I think that would be fantastic. Guys, I didn't even take a breath during this entire presentation, and now I think I will. So thank you for taking time out. We care about you. We want to see you successful. And God bless, all right? We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.